Hey, One Blessings. Since I am making samples of bricks, and I had Jessica asked about making samples, this is our new team page, so we don't really have a ton of information in here about making samples, so I thought I would share. But those of you who have brick samples coming, or you make wax samples at any time, if you would come up here and share in any form or fashion, video, pre-recorded, post, doesn't matter, how you make your samples, that would be great, because definitely there are other ways to make samples than how I do them. But I just wanted to share with you guys really quick the 2 ways that I'm making samples right now. Please ignore any of the noise you hear. My kids have friends over right now. So my response back to Jessica was also, when you make samples, she asked if, like, could they be remelted or what. Education is part of being a consultant. I mean, that is what basically consulting is. And so be sure you're letting your customers know what to do with the samples. So 2 ways that I make my samples is, the first way is I literally have a knife and a cutting board, and I cut samples. This knife, my mother gave it to me several years ago for Christmas. Do you see how thin it is? It is super thin. It is hecka thin, but it is my best cutting knife ever. It cuts my samples really thin. I don't have to melt them or anything, or get the wax a little bit warm. Sometimes, like if you're making samples in the dead of winter and it's super cold, when you cut them, sometimes they'll break apart. But I found that if you can warm the wax just a little bit, maybe in the microwave for like 10 or 15 seconds, and or get a super thin cutting knife. And I think this one cuts so well because it's thin all the way from top to bottom. Like, it's all the way through thin. It's not one of those who it's thicker up top, but it's thinner down here where the blade is. So when you slide it all the way through, it like that's where it crumbles. Anyway, wow, I didn't mean to give y'all this much information about knives. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys these 2 ways I'm making wax samples. First way, for scent of the month, I cut these. So this is just a piece I literally cut off of the cube. It is very thin because this will still be mailed for 1 stamp. So you guys can kind of see how thin that is. Super duper thin. Does it get crunched up in the mail sometimes before my customer gets it? Yes. Do they always warm it? No. So what I have up here is I've made these labels. These are on return address labels. I made this on Avery.com, printed my own. I bought the labels on Amazon. If you all need them, comment below. I can link you to my Amazon for where I get these labels. They're not specific brand name. I think I get like I don't even know, it's a ton of labels that come in a pack for maybe like 20 bucks, and they literally last me for like 2 years. Anyway, I print everything on return address labels, it feels like, including my own label your bars labels. I don't get fancy with them anymore. Anyway, so what this says, I attach my sample to my Scent of the Month flyer with this sticker, and it literally says, warm this sample. Cold throw is sniffing it as it is solid. Warm throw is sniffing while it warms. Sometimes warm smells better than cold, so pop this wax sample in your warmer. So when they get this, I'm encouraging them with this sticker to take it out of the bag and go ahead and warm it and see if you like the smell. Because some people will smell like this and be like, nah, I'm done. And that's what I would have done with chamomile petals. But I'm telling you right now, it's got some notes in it. I don't know if it's the base notes of that apple or whatever, but after it's been warming for like a day, it's so good. And I'm having customers who, I had a feeling like when I sent this to them, I was like, they're not gonna like this scent. One girl messaged me and she's like, that scent is amazing, I need 4 bars. So of course I upsold her to a 6-pack, and she's got bars on the way right now. I just ordered them for her this morning. So anyway, that's part of education, is telling them what to do with it. Now, with my brick samples, I'm not done yet. I am making these out of felt samples. And yes, they are my fall and winter ones. I don't care. I need to use them. I think I earned them in an incentive, and I didn't use them this past fall and winter, so I want to use them now. So I don't care what they look like. But these are felt samples. And so one thing that I do is, after I'm putting this together, I have, again, return address labels. And on these, I've made these for years. I've had this same template on Avery.com for so many years, but it says, enjoy your free wax sample. Wax can melt in transit, and that's why the felt is needed. This sample is meltable in your warmer. Pop it in the freezer for a few and then remove from bag. Put it in the warmer, felt and all, and test it out. Test out the scent's warm throw. So what they can do is, when they get this type of sample in the mail with this attached to it, they can literally take this. I say put it in the freezer because when I send these during summertime, because summertime your samples are going to melt in the in transit. So this will probably be the last month I do these cut samples like this in just the bag without putting a felt sample behind it. What I will do in May, coming, you know, in the months coming up for summer, is I'll actually put a piece of this felt in here behind the wax, and as it's in transit through the mail in the hot heat, sit in somebody's mailbox, it's gonna melt onto the felt for me. So I don't even have to melt these like I'm doing right now and dipping the felt in them. The sun's gonna help me do that. Okay, so then I'll just attach these little stickers to my scent of the month samples. But I'm gonna put these stickers on my brick scents too, so they know that you can pop this in the freezer if it comes to you a little bit melted because of the heat from outside. You can pop this in your freezer for just a minute to solidify it again, and then take it out of the bag and put it in your warmer. That way they can warm it and they can get close to the warmer and just kind of waft the scent towards them so they can get an idea of whether they like it warming or not. So anyway, that's how I'm doing my 2 sets of wax samples right now. Cut and felt, educating them with the sticker that's attached so they know how to use the felt or the cut wax sample. So anyway, I hope that helps you. If you have any questions or you need links to the Amazon for the return labels or the baggies or anything, just comment below and I'll be glad to help you. Y'all have a good Saturday. Bye.